Ah, the honeymoon phase of the school year, when students raise their hands, they all walk in straight lines, and they all respond, yes, yes, with excitement and a smile. But then reality sits in. The honeymoon is over, and suddenly our students are showing their real personalities. The pencil tappers and desk drummers have arrived, and we're now facing the real challenges of classroom life. Today, we're talking about what happens when the sparkle isn't so sparkly, how we can respond with patience, maybe even a little humor, and how to keep building strong connections all school year long.
This is Teachers on the Loose.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Teachers on the Loose, the podcast where we turn teacher tales into belly laughs and life lessons. I'm Celeste.
I'm Kristen.
I'm Kelsey.
And I'm Allison.
In today's episode, we are here to face the truth. You know the honeymoon is over when your students start showing off their, well, let's just call them unique behaviors. One is under the desk. Another student will only work for snacks, Kristen. And somehow someone's chair keeps mysteriously tipping over. Today, we're diving into the wild, wonderful, and sometimes downright hilarious reality of student behavior once the shine of back to school wears off.
But before we dive into today's episode, I just wanted to mention that we are sitting amongst greatness.
Woo!
Windsor royalty.
Oh my gosh. Seriously.
Congratulations to Allison.
Yay,
Allison!
Oh, well, thank you.
You are an amazing teacher. We already knew that, but now the whole school district knows this.
The whole world knows it now.
Seriously, guys.
You make learning so much fun for your students, but you are not just their teacher. You are also their biggest fan. You go to football games, basketball games, dance recitals. I don't know. What else? What do you do? What are all the things?
I've been to a lot of different things just to support my students and to let them know that I'm there to support them, even if it's not academics. But yeah, I've been to Taekwondo. I've been to violin recital. I've been to... gymnastics meet. So anyways, yeah, I try to support my students in any way I can. So,
Well, you love on them when they need a hug or a shoulder to cry on. You even make sure that they get to school on time. So thank you so much for being an amazing teacher, an amazing person, an amazing friend. We are so proud of you. I remember when you went to receive the award from our superintendent, I was like, oh, I know her. I was so excited.
oh my gosh. Well, thank you.
Yay.
I just do want to say though that I was shocked when I got that award, first of all, but secondly, when I got it, I felt like it was not really just my award, because I felt like when I got the award, I said, iron sharpens iron. I am who I am because of everybody that I'm around. And that's so true. Like, if you see something of mine that is cute, it probably came from Celeste. If you see something of mine that's on an organized spreadsheet that has like all these different algorithm, I don't even know what you call it. Formulas. There you go. See, I don't even know what it's called, but that probably came from Kelsey. And if I've got like a cute idea for the classroom, it probably came from Kristen. I've worked with amazing teams. And I'm always growing and learning from everybody that I'm around. And so I feel like that award wasn't just for me. It was for everybody that I've worked with, because that's who makes me who I am.
But that also makes you amazing because you're always willing to learn and grow.
Oh, well, thank you. It was a true honor. It was very humbling. And so I thank you.
And now your name is forever on a plaque that will live in the Windsor.
Oh my gosh.
Where does it live?
I don't know.
The district office.
It's being renovated right now, so it will get
where-
there.
it'll get
Yeah,
there.
where is this award?
It's
Plaque.
okay.
Wait,
It's
did
all
you
good.
get a plaque?
I did get a plaque. It's in
Yeah,
my classroom
actually,
right now.
I have second grade lunch duty, and I was talking to one of her students, and I asked her, I'm like, oh, who's your teacher? And she's like, Mrs. Larson. I was like, oh, that's awesome. She's such a great teacher. She goes, I know. She got 3 awards.
Okay, so actually, I just got the one award, but I have my diploma and my teaching license framed in my classroom as well. So it looks like 3 awards. It's just the one award.
I love that.
They're
So
cute.
cute.
Well, keep being your amazing self.
Well, thank you guys. It was a very heartwarming event, and I'm just grateful that we were all there together celebrating and having a good time. So thank you. Let's go ahead and move forward into this episode where we're talking about like the honeymoon phase is over and now like reality hits. So I wanted to first of all start out by asking you guys like, what's a funny story that's come out of like an undesirable behavior? And let's think like Dragnet style where we say like the names and places may have changed to protect the innocent. Okay, so like
Innocent?
So hypothetically,
hypothetically,
Okay.
yeah. So hypothetically, what is a funny story that has come out of like maybe a student that wasn't doing their job as a student at the moment?
All right. Well, hypothetically, last year and a little bit of this school year, hypothetically, we had Fight Club at recess between kindergartners and first graders. So that was fun.
What?
Wait, I thought
Like-
we weren't supposed to talk about Fight Club.
Oh, yeah. That is a rule, right?
Yeah.
That's
What
a
happens
rule.
at Fight Club?
Stays at Fight Club.
Stays at Fight Club. But wait a minute, we're talking about like 6-year-olds, right?
Well, I mean, 4, 5, 6-year-olds. Hypothetically having Fight Club on the playground. I don't know how it happened, but all of a sudden there's a circle of students. And, I'm proud of them. They made a circle,
They,
you know?
They know their shapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Whoa.
so I don't know what words were said. All I saw was a circle. And it's not Fight Club. I mean, it's little kids hypothetically mad at each other using
Jeez.
their
There was
hands.
tackling.
Okay, you're right.
Okay.
Sorry.
Kids were on the
Hypothetical
floor. There
tackling.
was cheering from the outside.
Yeah.
Gosh.
So we had to make
Wow.
some change. I mean, hypothetically, a good idea would to make some changes at recess. And so now we just do kindergarten recess and then we change the time. So now first grade comes out a little bit later. So there's no more Fight Club.
You separate the lions and the tigers. I get it. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I had a student that kept touching things on my desk.
Hypothetically?
Hypothetically, I may have had a student that kept touching things on my desk. So I bought one of those boxes that when you slide the top back, a spider pops out. So
I too have one of those.
do you
That's
really?
not surprising.
Yes. And so I had talked to him about it. I was like, please don't touch the things on my desk, hypothetically. And all of a sudden, we're standing in line. We're getting ready to head out the door. And I hear a scream. And I was like, what's going on at the back of my line? And this little guy's eyes were huge. He's like, there's a spider. And I was like,
You touched
Maybe.
something on my desk. didn't
maybe that's something you're not supposed to be touching on my desk.
you? So wait, did you purposefully put it there hypothetically for said child?
Hypothetically, I just may have just set it on my desk.
It was your pet
Um,
that you needed to
that-
keep in the box.
Yeah. No, and so anyways, it ended up being where like we laughed about it and it was memorable, but also with a lesson like, hey, this is the last time I'm going to say, like, please don't touch the things on my teacher desk. Number one, because I need to know where I put my things. Like, if you're messing around with things, I won't
Yeah.
need to know.
Yeah.
And then I can't find it. And then I waste time looking for things. But secondly, like, I just don't, like,
Personal boundaries.
yeah.
So one year I may have hypothetically gotten slapped by a child.
Oh,
Like Will Smith style.
Yep. Full on Will Smith style.
Dang.
wow.
From a 6-year-old?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tell me more.
Well, I was getting down on the student's level. He was a little upset and he may have hypothetically, may have slapped me. It was kind of my fault. I got a little too close and he wasn't too happy. So,
Wait, so what happened after the slap?
well, then he hypothetically may have said, now you got to send me home.
So that's what he wanted all along was to go
Yeah.
home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Did
Yeah.
he win?
Did you send
I
him
mean,
home?
at the end of the day when the bell rang, he went home. And then we had some good chats the next day.
So those are all pretty funny stories, and I love that we can laugh about it later, even though at the time maybe you can't really laugh about them, but we all know that behavior is communication from students, right? And so when we really sit down and look at like, why did that behavior happen, we can get to the root problem and we can start helping that child learn through how to deal with those big emotions and not have those behaviors, which kind of leads us to like a PBIS system. So what is PBIS? If you could describe PBIS like in a sentence or two, what would that be?
Isn't it a channel where Bert and Ernie live?
I think that's PBS.
That's PBS.
Oh, shoot. Sorry, my bad.
No, PBIS. What does PBIS stand for?
Stands for Positive Behavior Interventions and Supports.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Wow, that's a lot of words.
It
Tell me
is.
more. What does that mean?
So there's 3 tiers to it. Tier 1 is like foundational school-wide supports and clear expectations for students. Tier 2 is where you like provide specific interventions or supports for certain groups of students that maybe need some more support with behaviors. And tier 3 is more individualized behavior plans for students who might need some more support than what has been provided.
I have a
Wow.
confession.
What's your
You
confession?
know, we have a lot of acronyms in teaching.
Did you learn
I
something
didn't
today?
know all of the words for PBIS. I'm going to admit that.
Did you two think it was public broadcast system?
A little.
Well, it is like this big umbrella that
Yes.
we just always just say PBIS. But so today, let's talk about PBIS and let's kind of focus on the tier 1 part of it. So what are some examples of how PBIS has looked in action at your guys' schools? And maybe just beyond like just the reward systems, what does it look like in your school?
Well, I think what Kelsey said is most important. You have to have clear expectations for all students. And so that common language of these are the school rules, and we're going to hold everybody accountable to those rules. So we have agreements at our school, and it's a list of behaviors that follow our character counts program. And it just has language that's very clear about what is expected of students. And so that's step 1, clear expectations.
Yeah, we give out points when we catch students doing the positive agreements. And so it's been a really great way to bring the whole school together to have that common goal, not just staff, but it's also students. And so my class has been awesome and amazing. And so they come back with a whole bunch of prizes because they turn in their card. There's 7 little stamps that they can get. And they get their prize, and they have come back with a pirate hat, a pirate patch, a gold coin.
Oh.
Yes.
So is there a theme here?
I feel like there is a theme going on right now. One of my students has a whole outfit. His mom's like, well, I guess we know what you're going to be for Halloween, a pirate.
That's awesome. And so that is the reward part, but the part of the clear expectations and school wide, where every teacher is using the same common wording and same common expectations is like the framework of doing that, and then catching them while they're doing that and giving them rewards is part of the process of trying to get them to understand like the community that you're building of positive behavior.
Yeah, and then as a community, they're working towards a goal. We have these 2 tubes in the hallway, and when the students fill out their point card, they get a little token, and then they get to put their token and vote for which school-wide reward they want. We have already had Stuffy Day, and next week, guess what we're getting?
What?
School-wide Pajama Day.
I think teachers like pajama day more than
Yeah.
My pajamas are
Oh.
my sweats, so it's like cozy
Yep,
day. I'm
yep.
like, yes, it's my
Yes.
favorite day.
I love that it's buy-in from the whole building and everybody gets excited, and then the announcements come on and our principal just celebrates the fact that as a building we work together to achieve this goal. And so
love
it's great.
that.
I love
We
that.
do that similar. We do something similar at our school too. We've been learning a lot about restorative practices at our school and learning how to help the child learn through their behaviors. And one of the quotes that they had at our training was, when things start going wrong and the honeymoon goes away and problems are arising, to keep the focus on the person is not the problem, but the problem is the problem. Yep. And I really liked that because it kind of separates, like, you are an amazing kid, but this was a poor choice. So we're going to address this choice and we're going to learn from it, and then we're going to move on so that relationships are still the focus of our behavior, positive behavior system that we have going on.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's positive behavior system. The problem is the problem. But here's my question. I sometimes see on social media some misconceptions about PBIS, that it is just rewards. So how do we get people that are not in the school system understand PBIS a little bit better and not have those misconceptions that here's a lollipop, go back to your classroom after you did something?
Yeah. Well, I think at school, it's not only our job to teach academics, but we're teaching the whole child, right? And behaviors and how we act and what we say and all of those things, like those are things we have to teach our kids as well. And so that's where PBIS kind of comes in, right? That first stage is teaching students the expectations of the schools. How do we talk to each other? How do we act? How do we show we're being kind? How do we show we're being respectful? And teaching students about those qualities too and how to demonstrate that.
But I think, too, I don't want to discredit the fact that there are teachers out there right now struggling, and there are some systems that aren't working. And that's okay, because the only way to fix it is to recognize that there is a problem in that system, right?
The problem is the problem.
Yeah, the problem is the problem. And sometimes the problem is that you ask for help and the child does go off and get a treat or a reward, and it makes the problem even worse. And so, like, if you are going through that right now, we hear you and we understand that, right? Like, we're not like trying to sugarcoat everything, but I feel like we're both in schools where we're feeling like we're working in a system that is working towards helping the child grow and learn through their behaviors. And so to share that with other people, I think, is important, and to turn the negative connotation of PBIS around to say it can be a very good thing for students and teachers who are starting to feel burnout from all of these behaviors.
So it's been really interesting to see things maybe from the other side. Like, as a classroom teacher, a lot of times I would just see kids come back and not really know what was happening behind the scenes. And this year, my office is right next to a flex room. And a lot of times students who maybe had some challenging behaviors that day will go in there with admin, and they'll kind of work through that restorative practice flowchart, if you will. And it's just been interesting to see the steps that happen before a kid goes back to class. It's not just a simple, I'm out for 5 minutes, I got a lollipop, and I go back. There's learning and teaching and things that are happening behind the scenes that I think teachers don't always see.
Yeah.
If you are struggling, right, it's about communication too, and reaching out to people that can support you to help you develop a system that works in your classroom.
Absolutely.
And whether it's like your administrator or a teammate or your coach or whoever that trusted person is for you to reach out to and get support.
Right? Like, taking that time to go back and say, hey, how did they do? What did you guys talk about? And try to restore that relationship back with that child so they can come back regulated and ready to learn.
And just understanding, and I know I have this sometimes in my head, like, wow, they did come back really fast and then the behavior happens again. But understanding that changing behavior takes time and patience. And you, as a classroom teacher, you are trying your best, you are doing your best to help them. But some students need just a little more practice.
Behavior is a form of communication, and I think remembering that we have to get to the root cause of what's happening, and then we can teach the student what to do in those moments when they're struggling. And it's like you said, Kristen, it's not going to happen overnight. You're planting seeds, and it takes a while for the student to bloom.
Okay, so help me out. Ready? I'm a classroom teacher, and it's a dumpster fire in my classroom right now. What are some things that I could do tomorrow, like the next day, to start getting on the right track to reinforce some positive behavior?
I'm always reflecting. And so I would go in the next day and be like, to my class, guys, yesterday I went home and I was just so sad. I feel like we were really struggling with listening. We had students just talking and not following directions and on, just kind of saying, I had time to reflect and I didn't feel good about yesterday. So what are some things that we can do together to get to have a better day for all of us? What do you guys think?
I love that. That's the name it to tame it, right?
Love it.
Yeah, I like that.
I would say think of what is your top behavior that if you had like the ideal classroom going on, what behavior would be going perfectly in your space, and pick that first behavior and then think through how to teach students how to show that and practice it every day. Have a similar routine for practicing it and showing them videos about whatever that looks like.
Or role play.
Or
Have them
role play. Yeah.
Yeah.
Practice.
Well, and if it was just like a child that's really having repeated behaviors, I think a big thing would be to reach out to that parent, first of all, and to be like, hey, I am here to help your child grow and learn, and these are some things that we're struggling with. Do you see this at home as well? I'm here to partner with you. You know your child better than I do. What are some things that I could do at school to help him or her be more successful? Because I know that they don't like feeling that way. And so how can I help them through that? These are some things I've worked with. What are some ideas that you might have? And to partner with that parent a lot of times helps get some of the things rolling as well.
I love that. I actually had 3 students this past week that I had to reach out to parents and say this behavior was happening. And they were so receptive to having that open communication and working together to help their child. And Friday was beautiful.
I love that.
Yeah. And
I
Monday
think-
will be too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was scrolling on the internet the other day and I saw a quote or like a reel of something that said, hey, what's one thing that you could do to help that one child that is having significant behaviors right now? And I was like, ooh, tell me more. What could I do? And I said, it only takes 5 seconds. And I was like, well, I got 5 seconds. What? Tell me more. I'm so excited. Are you guys on the tip of your
I
seat?
am
ready
on
for
the edge
this.
of my seat. Tell me.
So really it's all about making that connection. And so it's looking at the kid and seeing what are their interests and finding it and naming it. So you walk up to them and you're like, oh my gosh, what a cool backpack. You like Sonic the Hedgehog too? And if they engage with you, awesome. If they don't, walk away. And then the next day, wow, how was soccer practice last night? Because you knew that they had soccer practice. And again, if they engage in conversation, great. If they don't, just walk away. And then eventually that kid is going to start to say, oh my gosh, my teacher actually cares about me. My teacher knows me. My teacher loves me. So that in those moments where they feel like, oh, I'm in trouble again, they have that in the back of their mind going, oh no, my teacher really does care about me. And I thought, wow, that's so simple.
I even say to them, like when they're doing an undesirable behavior, I'll say, we're going to stop right now. I care too much about you to let this continue to happen because I know that this isn't who you want to be or what we want to keep doing, right? We want to turn this around and be positive and having a good day. So we're going to stop for a second. Help me figure out how we're going to turn this around. But using the words like, I care too much about you to let you continue to do this sets the tone of, I'm not coming at you because I'm mad at you or I don't like you. I'm coming at you through caring, through wanting you to be the best version of who you are. So that was good.
Yeah. It's about the importance of building those positive relationships with your students.
Yeah.
I read that book, That One Kid by Brian Mendler. And really the thing I pulled away from that book was spending 3 to 5 minutes. It could be every day. It could be every other day in the morning when the student comes in and just, like you said, developing that relationship with them. And I've done that before. And man, that made such a world of difference in my students, so especially the ones that are challenging. So I would definitely do that. If I hypothetically had a student that I needed to do that with tomorrow,
So maybe
Monday,
hypothetically, you try it.
I will hypothetically try it tomorrow.
What a girl.
I love it. And so today we talked a lot about PBIS and how it can work and how there are still struggles. And so taking that time to build a relationship, recognizing that the problem is the problem, not the kid, and that behavior is a communication. And so looking at the whole child and seeing how that kid can just need a little bit of help through this one situation, and you can be that person that makes the difference.
And that change takes time.
It does. It takes time.
All right, listeners on the loose, it's your turn. What does PBIS look like at your school? What are some tools and strategies that you use to promote positive behavior?
And we want to hear from you. So tag us on Instagram at Teachers on the Loose or on TikTok at TeachersOTL and share your story. You just might hear it in a future episode.
Thanks for joining us today. And remember, Every positive interaction is a seed you're planting. It might not grow overnight, but it matters more than you know. So keep showing up, keep reinforcing the good, and most of all, keep believing in your impact. You've got this.
So hypothetically, if you've been counting how many times we've said hypothetically in the podcast, type it in the comments, and you
Hypothetically.
might hypothetically get a coffee gift card from us.
Hypothetically.
And don't forget to join us next week on
Teachers on the Loose.
This is Teachers on the Loose.
Awesome.
Not hypothetically. Join us.
Hypothetically. I'm not buying coffee. Are you buying them coffee?
Well,
I
last
don't buy
time.
them coffee. We said we would. We're
Okay.
gonna.
We
deliver
said
on our
hypothetically,
promise.
though.
Yeah.
It's fine.
All right.
Well, we're not buying everybody coffee.
Just
that listens.
one person.
Just
Well,
one. that
we
got
only
one.
need 6
Danielle.
coffees, right?
Nope, 7. We got one more listener.
We got one more listener. Okay, 7.